Our learning target today is students will be able to understand the concept and purpose of satire. When reading the text, students will understand the satire, the tone, and the intended audience. So before we start reading the text, I want everyone to look at these 4 different kinds of satire. It'll be the first page of your 3 pages. And I want you to quickly read through those so that when we read the text, you can make note of the different kinds of satire that you see. When you're done, the majority of people think you will move on. So while people are finishing that, do you want to tell me what a satire is, what it's used for?
It's used to sort of make fun of something, and sort of to either exaggerate either a current event or something that just sort of gives a message out that's maybe undermining the message that is meant to.
So satire is a commentary on society and a solution of how to fix a problem presented in either a ridiculously absurd or playful form.
So like
Yes.
a political cartoon?
Yes. Yes, Tony.
I was going to say it's kind of a funny or sarcastic way of making a point.
Yeah, like Jon Stewart. That's a perfect example of satire. All right, we are going to read Beyond Road Rage, There is Destructive Cart Rage by Dave Barry. I think this reads pretty easily, and I know it's 2 pages, but I think if we read the first page and get through it, it's worth it for the sake of the drill. So Jennifer, why don't you start and just read at a good pace, we'll all get through.
Okay. If you do much driving on our nation's highways, you probably notice that more and more often bullets are coming through your windshield. This is a common sign of road rage, which the opinion makers in the news media have decided is a serious problem, currently ranking just behind global warming and several points ahead of Asia.
How widespread is road rage? To answer that question, researchers for the National Institute of Traffic Safety recently did a study in which they drove on the interstate highway system in a specially equipped observation van. By the 3rd day, they were deliberately running other motorists off the road. These people are morons, was their official report.
That is the main cause of road rage, the realization that many of your fellow motorists have the same brain structure as a cashew. The most common example, of course, consists of motorists who feel a need to drive in the left-hand or passing lane, even though they are going slower than everybody else. Nobody knows why these motorists do this. Maybe they belong to some kind of religious cult that believes the right lane is sacred and must never come in direct contact with tires. Maybe one time, years ago, these motorists happened to be driving in the left lane when their favorite song came on the radio, so they've driven over there ever since, in hopes that the radio will play that song again.
Be sure you're annotating what kinds of forms of satire you're seeing.
But whatever makes these people drive this way, there's nothing you can do about it. You can honk at them, but it will have no effect. People have been honking at them for years. It's a normal part of their environment. They've decided that for some mysterious reason, wherever they drive, there is honking. They choose not to ponder this mystery any further, lest they overburden their cashews.
I'm very familiar with this problem because I live and drive in Miami, Florida, which proudly bills itself as the inappropriate lane driving capital of the world. A place where the left lane is thought not so much as a thoroughfare as a public recreational area, where motorists feel free to stop, hold family reunions, barbecue pigs, play volleyball, etc.
Having this problem is another common type of Miami motorist. The aggressive young male whose car has a sound system so powerful that the driver must go faster than the speed of sound at all times, because otherwise the nuclear bass notes emanating from his rear speakers will catch up to him and cause his head to explode. So the tiny minority of us Miami drivers who actually qualify as normal find ourselves constantly being trapped behind people drifting along on the interstate at the speed of diseased livestock, while at the same time we are being tailgated and occasionally bumped from behind by testosterone deranged youths who got their driver training from watching space fighter battle scenes in Star Wars.
And of course, nobody ever signals or yields, and people are constantly cutting us off. And after a while, we start to feel some rage, okay? You got a problem with that, Mr. News Media Opinion Maker? In addition to road rage, I frequently experience parking lot rage, which occurs when I pull into a crowded supermarket parking lot, and I see people get into their car, clearly ready to leave. So I stop my car and wait for them to vacate the spot, and nothing happens. They just stay there. What the heck are they doing in there? Cooking dinner?
When I finally get into the supermarket, I often experience shopping cart rage. This is caused by the people, and you know these are the same people who always drive in the left-hand lane, who routinely manage by careful placement to block the entire aisle with a single shopping cart. If we really want to keep illegal immigrants from entering the United States, we should employ Miami residents armed with shopping carts. We only need about 2 dozen to block the entire Mexican border. What makes the supermarket congestion even worse is that shoppers are taking longer and longer to decide what to buy, because every product in America now comes in an insane number of sizes and styles and sizes.
For example, I recently went to the supermarket to get orange juice. For just one brand of orange juice, Tropicana, I had to decide whether I wanted original home style, Whole Plus, double vitamin C, Grove Stand, calcium, or old fashioned. I also had to decide whether I wanted the 60 ounce, 32 ounce, 64 ounce, 96 ounce, or 6-pack size. This is way too many product choices. It caused me to experience way too many product choices rage. I would have called Tropicana and explained, but I probably would have wound up experiencing automated phone answering system rage. For questions about Whole Plus in the 32 ounce size, press 23. For questions about Whole Plus in the 64 ounce size, press 24. For questions about, etc. My point is that there are many causes for rage in our modern world, and if we're going to avoid unnecessary violence, we all need to keep our cool. So let's try and be more considerate, okay? Otherwise, I will kill you. Thanks. All right. What forms of satire do you see based off of the definitions of satire, the different elements, if you will?
I saw the exaggeration, so the part where I read about them having like a pig barbecue in the left lane.
Good.
It's exaggeration.
Any other examples?
They compare cashews to brains, incongruity.
Good.
Yeah, I took the same thing Zach said and said it was incongruity.
Because you wouldn't be barbecuing in the left lane.
True. Anyone else see parody or reversal?
I saw parody in pretty much the whole thing with, the whole tale of woes.
Anyone else?
I didn't see reversal.
I saw reversal. Maybe one time 3 years ago, these motorists just happened to be driving the left lane when their favorite song came on. I kind of saw that as reversal because it was like it wasn't that one. It was the religious cult one.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like saying that the opposite of what exists is the usual for them.
Okay.
I saw that as reversal.
All right. So what is the satire? What in this piece? What is his commentary on society? What is the satire?
That we're way too impatient with people.
Okay. Way too impatient. And what is the vehicle? Well, what is his form for saying that we are too impatient as a society?
Driving.
All the
Driving.
rages.
Yeah. What other rages did he talk about?
Shopping.
Okay. Do those all tie into impatient, or does that lead to anything else?
Rage. We're too easily prone to
Put it in
rage.
here. What are things? Can you resonate with his rages in here?
Oh,
Yes. We talked about that before.
Happens to me like every day.
Every day.
Before student teaching, the whole driving thing was my life to and from work. Just get out of my way. I have things to do, places to go.
Well, it's hard too when you travel that road every day, you know exactly how it should go, and then someone
405.
somehow doesn't know, oh my goodness.
There is no one on the road and someone's in the left lane doing 45. There are 4 other cars on the entire road.
And
Why
somehow
are you
there's
going
always
45?
an accident.
I
So,
hate
two
phone
letters is
audio
accident.
systems.
Me too. What is his tone?
Zero.
Impatient. Other than impatient. So the satire is that we are impatient as a society.
It's sarcastic.
Sarcastic. So his tone is sarcastic. Any other ideas for tone?
Dramatic.
Dramatic. Anything else?
Imagery is a literary device that he uses.
Could it be a little irony, at least in the waiting for the person to leave their leave their parking spot, and they don't when they're clearly ready to go?
I mean, satire feels a strong part. I mean, irony is a strong part of satire, so I would definitely toss that in the mix. Okay, so you feel like these are the different tones present in the piece. Who do you think his audience is? Do you think the people he's writing to and the people he's talking about are one and the same, or no? What do you think?
I think people have different opinions of themselves than other people see them. So I may think that Brianna is a sucky driver because she's driving 10 miles under the speed limit right in front of me in the left lane. But she must think that she's a great driver because she's being responsible.
Also, the intended audience is people over, well, for at least half of it, the people over the age, the driving age, right? Because you can't have really road rage until you've done it.
I would even go, I would even go as far as to say it's someone that clearly lives on their own, and because teenagers don't grocery shop.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
So if we're
Not
going
if
to
they
narrow
want to have
this
a car.
down on society, what demographic of society? Like, it's apparently it's not all of society. He's narrowing it down just because some people can't drive, some other people don't have a grocery shop. So who is his primary target that he's writing about?
Say middle class.
What's a young adult?
I was asking.
I don't know, he talks about a young male driver as someone to be annoyed at.
Adults.
So I would say,
I would say like typical
population in the
middle
United
class.
States.
So typical middle class adults.
I read it as people who are just as frustrated as he is. Because he talks about many of